Hello there, hello there, hello there, YouTubes. Welcome, one and all, to Trump Dump number a million, it seems like. Who fucking knows? The weekly look at the goings on from Trumpelstiltskin, the turd flinger in chief in America, and all that jazz. Story this week, so it'll be a nice short one, and we can all go and enjoy Friday or whatever. Anyway, there has been some other stuff going on, but frankly, there is only one story. It's of James Comey. Now, James Comey is a name that you may or may not remember. He's basically, along with the Russians, the only reason that Donald Trump became president, because as FBI, the head honcho, the big cheese of the FBI, just before the election, about a week before, he released a totally needless piece of shit letter, which re-sparked the whole Hillary email scandal, even though it had nothing to do with it, and he was clearly lying and full of shit. And so Donald Trump was able to get by, to sneak through in a number of states where the polling was very, very bad for him and going in one direction, downward, until that. And so for Trump to sack him, as he did on Tuesday of this week, is somewhat biting the hand that feeds. And it would seem that former director Comey, as he now is, had a dead man's switch, I believe it's called, which is parlance in either the spy game or in like the mafia or whatever, like, clandestine activities, a sort of insurance policy against being taken out, as it were, either literally killed or in this case sacked or whatever. Whereby you have sensitive information about the person that you know wants to attack you. So basically you say to them, look, I have this information, and if anything happens to me, if you try and kill me or you kill me or sack me or whatever, I will release that information to the world. And so basically it's a way of blackmailing the person into not attacking you. But Trump's too stupid, it would seem, even to forget that sort of very basic concept. And his team of that, they're too stupid, because upon the story, whatever the fuck it's called, furore, there we go, surrounding the sacking of Comey, which, by the way, is incredibly dubious, and we'll get onto that in a second, that it was revealed to be a big deal. That only the second time ever, I think the first time was Richard Nixon, when Nixon tried to quash the Watergate thing, that a sitting president has sacked an FBI director. Yeah, that of course, that was always going to cause a big ruckus, because essentially the reason he's done this, and the official reason given was total bollocks, and has now been Donald Trump has told the world that that's the case, because he's now given a completely different account of it. He's done it is because Comey was getting too close to the truth about his dealings with the Russians, and the fact that the Russians essentially have a stooge in post as president of America. And you can tell they're getting close, because the closer they get, the more wild his swinging and flailing becomes. If you get a chance, go and look at his fucking breakdown he had on Twitter this morning, or this morning American time, this afternoon, where he's just flailing wildly, engaging in what can only be described as witness intimidation, another crime, by saying that, and notice that, but implicating himself as well, when he tweeted out, I forget the exact wording of it, but it's basically, I hope that if Comey's got the tapes, it's going to incriminate him, if they've got these secret recordings thing. And you think, well, okay, that's clearly, trying to intimidate a witness. But also it means that if you know some illegal shit went down on that recording, you're basically saying that you and he were complicit in illegal activities. Clandestine Americans. That's what you're saying. You're literally implicating yourself in treason. Idiot. Total fucking idiot. And he really is. I mean, over the last couple of days, in response to this, just like I say, flailing wildly like a madman. He's essentially building the prosecution's case for them. He's basically just laying it all out on the table and saying, or not even, well, he's not literally saying I've got dealings with the Russians. He said the exact opposite, in fact, in an interview. But he's essentially revealing that he has plenty of fucked up shit to hide, and that's why he sacked him, because Comey's getting too close to the truth. and the investigative reporters are as well. He's threatened to get rid of press briefings at the White House and stuff. I end every episode with normal, but this really isn't at all normal. This is ridiculous. America's turning into some sort of pseudo-authoritarian fucking almost banana republic where we're now having government via tweet. It's ridiculous. What the fuck is going on? America, you need to impeach this fucking mad bastard. Just get rid of him. Even if you have to give him immunity, like with Nixon, he wasn't actually prosecuted. You just essentially let him go off into the sunlight. And that makes sense from the perspective of they've got lots of supporters in the country, and it's just going to rile up tensions. So essentially, you just fucking let them just pretend like they never happened. So if that has to happen, that has to happen. I'd like to see him behind bars, but that didn't happen. Whatever. But you need to get rid of him. You need to impeach this man now. It's so obvious it's been engaged in treasonous bullshit, and now a huge cover-up of that treasonous bullshit to the point where he's sacked in the FBI. I mean, and not just that, but in order to complete the Nixon comparison this week, he had a public meeting with fucking Henry Kissinger, who seems to be like, it just pops up whenever there's some sort of democracy being overthrown, even the American democracy, he just pops up and he's there. Like an anti-democratic bad penny, he just arrives. Fucking hell. Yeah. So that's happened. Brilliant. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens from now. I get the feeling there will be some very, very big developments over the next couple of weeks with this, because I think a lot of people in the security industry, whatever the department, the FBI and CIA and all that, are rather sick of Trump's antics now. So I wouldn't be surprised if some very, very sensitive leaks come very soon. Like I say, this isn't normal. And of course, I end every episode with telling you how many days are officially left in the term. I genuinely can't see him lasting that long. I think even with the Republican intransigence, I think eventually this just has to tell, because it's building. It's got an almost sort of remorseless feel to it. What's the word? Momentum. It's got momentum behind, and so hopefully he'll be gone. But if he doesn't, if somehow he manages to last, it'll be there are only 1,348 days left of the term. He won't get that far, clearly, because he's just too incompetent to last and too corrupt to last. So, but we'll see. But we must always remember, this is not normal, people. But what is normal is telling Montana to go fuck itself. Go fuck yourself, Montana. Whatever. So that's that for this week. That's really the biggest thing that happened, and not a lot else, really. I mean, there were some other bits and bobs to do with like healthcare and stuff, but ultimately, we're talking about the future of the American Republic here, and Donald Trump's real fucking threat to that future. So that's that. There'll probably be more news next week to do with this. Will Donald Trump still be president? Probably, but who knows? I can feel something building and soon. So, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you all for listening and watching. Pip pip.